Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
Well, we've moved on to the next season. That would be for basketball, and we're happy to do that given the weather conditions outside. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cosumnes Oaks High School, home of the Wolfpack, and it's the annual Runnin' with the Pack Holiday Tournament. I'm Will James along with Lauren Goodman, and we have an excellent opening telecast for you coming up. We're going to have the Cordova Lancers playing host to an excellent ball club from Vacaville. We saw each of these squads last night, Lauren, and impressive players on both sides.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of talent that we got to see. We probably wouldn't normally see these teams until later in the year. So it was a good opportunity to come out and see them ball out, and they played really well together.
They did. Game's going to tip shortly, so what we're going to do is show you starting lineups and then fit in some other information for you that might draw your interest in tonight's semifinal round. This is the first of two games. Vacaville, the visitors tonight, under head coach Dwayne Cameron in his 14th season. His son Cameron starting at the point with Austin Moore and Evan Adams. Lots of guards on this squad, including high-scoring guard Myron Amy. You're going to keep an eye on him. Number 5, he dropped 36 last night, and Sam Bridge rounds out their 5. That was quite a performance by the senior captain, Myron Amy.
Oh, really, really well-spoken kid. Got to talk to him after the game yesterday, and he told me that he didn't even feel comfortable with his performance. He thought he could play better. So, I mean, we might be in store for a ball game tonight from Mr. Amy.
I would think so. And for head coach Fletcher Johnson of Cordova in his 10th season guiding the Lancers, he's got some star power of his own and a very, very flashy point guard, junior point guard, Rashawn Pinckney. He's going to work with Alan Davis. And then a front line, good size there with Thomas, returning league MVP Isaiah Bolden. He will probably go head-to-head with Amy in tonight's contest, and Stallworth at a power forward position. So that should be quite a duel, whether they guard each other or not.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, and I know that they are going to guard each other. Bolden went out and guarded the best player yesterday when they played Placer, really strong on defense, but we're going to see a nice package with him as far as what he can do with the basketball, creating shots for himself and his teammates.
Well, the last time out, which was just one evening ago in the opening round, we see here that Vacaville, on the strength of that 36 from Amy, able to take out University Prep of Reading. They were down 10 early, though, Lauren.
University Prep came out really, really strong. I think they got Vacaville sleeping a little bit, but Vacaville really responded well in that second half and was able to pull off a tough ball game, played really well by University Prep.
Panthers hit 12 threes, and they're in the nightcap tonight. And, of course, Amy, keep an eye on him, number 5 of Vacaville. And for Cordova, their victory was a hard-earned win over the Placer-Hillman in their quarterfinal. They were able to hold on to an early 10-point lead. After that, for the next 3 quarters, they played even.
Oh, they had a smooth sailing league, but that came from Bolden. His 19 points really carried the Lancers, and it helped them make really good decisions as he kind of predominantly took over the ball in the end of the game.
And also giving reference to Rashawn Pinckney, number 21, Cordova's point guard, 14 points, 11 assists.
Not too bad from a junior.
Not too bad from any grade. So got some excellent star power in tonight's ball game. And there you see the young man across the way seated on the end there.
Hello, and welcome to the annual
A relatively light crowd at present. Of course, the host team coming up in the nightcap in a couple hours, but rainy conditions outside might be responsible, along with the traffic flow at drive time. There's part of our crowd. In the opener, Placer prevailed tonight over Rosemont. So here we are in the second of three in this Running with the Pack Invitational Tournament. As we hear the intros for the starting lineups, which you've already seen, the impact players, of course, key roles tonight. And Lauren, the Bulldogs didn't really disperse the scoring load too much.
No, but Austin Moore, senior guard, came in. He was really steady, getting them in the offense, making sure that Vacaville ran execution. I really liked a couple of their sets that they ran yesterday. Got to write them down. And then James Bergman came off the bench. He's a big-time player. Hopefully I will see them get him more involved, because I felt like they needed to get him more involved yesterday to kind of balance out Amy's attack with 36 points.
And for Cordova, with that young man we mentioned at the point, very, very classy and shifty. Pinckney had the big game, but more balance in their production.
Yes, they have a really deceptive team. I know Coach got to talk to him after the game. He talked about their start. Hasn't been one of the ones that they really wanted, but with Sean Pinckney, and then you have stalwart players who can really play inside out and create their own shots. It makes it easier for Isaiah to create around them and really build. I think this team will build as the season goes on.
Well, this looks to be a very enticing matchup, provocative in fact. We'll see if Vacaville can spread out their production more. That's going to be a challenge. And of course, defensively, both teams have some concerns with the top scorers. Yes,
they're going to have to play solid defense, and they both put them out in a strong man-to-man. So this is mano-a-mano. You're going to have to stop your man, and then also a key point is be in the right spots in rotation. If they have that weak side help, when they have those drivers on both sides, it's going to help either team really have an advantage.
With Cordova last night, I did notice that they do not really have an outside attack. I didn't see any true jump shooters and no three-ball proficiency. I don't know if they were holding back on that or not, but that might be something to keep track of. Our game officials tonight, Richard Bakima, our referee, and the umpire tonight, Jamar Smith, keeping things fair and square from the NCOA. Amy jumping for Vacaville, and he gets the jump. And Vacaville with first possession here as we're underway here in the semifinal round, winner's side of the bracket.
And we see the Lancers come out in the 3-2 zone, trying to protect that three-point line.
And we see here that they have started Bergman, who's got the ball in the corner, and we thought he could be in that starting five when we saw his performance last night. Corner jumper, not this time for Amy, but offensive board, they reload.
And this is something that Vacaville does really well. They get offensive opportunities, which gives them second chances to go and score the basketball.
Inside feed, a miss in close by Bridge, but another offensive board. 0 for 3, and they'll try for 4. Amy again. 0 for 4, let's go for 5. That's 4 offensive boards right there, although a couple of slapaways were fortuitous for the Bulldogs. Just underway. Nice to have you with us on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Down. Corner three ball drilled by Blenko. 3-0. Vacaville. They draw first blood here. Now the Lancers on the attack. A turnover on the first possession. Blenko pushes hard. Wild shot misses. Tussle for the board. Possession arrow to the Lancers.
Now this is where Stallworth and the other young post and the inside are going to have to find a body on Bergman and really box him out on the offensive end.
on the wing. This is the junior point guard, Pinckney. That's what he does great, find the open player. Nicely done right there. So Davis has the bucket. Cordova on the board, down 1. A miss and a follow-up. Tough rebounding there. Kept alive, but Pinckney tracks it down. Amy just got faked out of the building, and it sets up a drive and dish. Nice bucket there again, Davis. His second hoop puts them ahead 4-2. Played about 2.5 minutes. Open J on the way, drilled. Blenko, pair of 3 balls, a non-starter last night. Getting the call tonight as Coach Cameron shakes up his lineup. Timeout taken at the 5:28 mark, and there you see that Vacaville Bulldog huddle. There are the Lancers and head coach Fletcher Johnson.
Blenko's really surprised me coming off the bench from last night and then into the starting lineup. He must have showed the coaching staff something last night that really sparked him, and he seems like he's riding on that.
Certainly did. Blenko and Bergman both drawing starting assignments based on last night's performance.
This is the best part of the preseason, like nothing set in stone. Everybody gets to rotation based off how you play, and as they improve in jail, coaches will see new things.
Also promoted to the starting lineup. There you see inbounding at midcourt just in front of us. The Lancers have a turnover. Here's Amy. Spin and lose it. Get it back and miss in close. I'll tell you, he's dynamite. Bergman, a follow-up bucket, and draws a foul. Davis picks up the foul. We've got a 6-6 tie, but Bergman trying to snap that right now at the stripe, and does. 7-6 Vaca in clusters of 3. A pair of 3 balls by Blenko and a 3-point play by Bergman. Loose ball, turnover Cordova. That's 2. Open daylight shooting, down. Cameron has another 3, third of the game for the Bulldogs, and it's a 10-6 lead. Scoreboard's now changed to 12-4. That is correct. Turnover number 3.
And Vaca is really getting out in transition, something we didn't see last night.
Bergman travels from here to there. Turnover, Vacaville. Bergman's got 4 offensive rebounds in tonight's game. Thank you very much, Dave Larson, our statistician. Tap away and another near turnover, and how about that hustle? Okay, Vacaville has it. Boy, the turnover's mounting now for Cordova. They haven't had too many shots.
And they're going to have to take care of the ball. They did that a lot again last night against Placer. They had too many mistakes, too many turnovers, and they're unforced turnovers. Just take care of the basketball a little bit more. I like their patience that they're trying to display, but they're not making the right passes.
Wow, catch and shoot. A miss from the corner, again taken. Blenko. 12-4 Vacaville. Spin into heavy traffic, lose it, get it back, and a short J is pounded home nicely by Davis. He's got all their hoops. 12-6. Wow. Cordova foul along the baseline.
That was an interesting call, but I see the Lancers are in going 3-2 zone, 2-3 zone to protect the outside arc for the three-pointers, but they're not having their hands up and contesting the shots, which is why Vacaville is having so many easy looks, and they now have knocked down 3 threes.
So Davis sits down with 2 fouls. In to replace him, Stallworth. Shot and a miss, and Stallworth boards it. A drive and a layup off the left side, Isaiah Bolden.
Right on time. They needed a bucket. He's the person that needed to go score it.
Returning MVP. Let's take another look at that drive by Bolden, 32.
He observes the court really well, and then he slips through the defense. And that was an easy left-hand layup. I wonder what happened on Vaca's weak side help there.
So his first hoop trims the deficit now to 12-8. Catch and fire, Bolden, Nice offensive board, kept alive. Out to Pinckney and reload. A rapidly played first quarter, 2:50 to go. And things tightening up after the big lead by Vacaville early. Pinckney, Rebounded nicely there by French, a tough rebounder, good defender. Baseline runner, drilled. Sweet money for Evan Adams. 14-8 Bulldogs. Drive and feed. A charge, I believe. I misidentified that previous shot. It was taken.
That was a very, very late call. One thing that you're seeing on that creation, even at help side, Vacaville switches a lot in their man-to-man. They switch almost every play, which creates confusion. As you see, Bolden was able to get that easy dump. Late call, I don't know if I would have probably called that. As you see, Coach Fletcher is steaming, standing up right now.
He sure is. Highly upset. Travel and a turnover on Vaca. Inbound to Pinckney, walking dribble into the front court now. Drive it, runner, missed. Pulled down nicely by Adams. Transition stalled out. Inside, Sweet with the left, Hammond. His second hoop, 5 for the game, and a 16-8 lead. Well, Bolden calls the play for himself, apparently. Works inside and sweetly 360 spin and a cupcake layup.
He makes it look so easy.
16-10.
And this is an interesting piece, as you see right here. Hopefully he will be able to get into the offensive rhythm. He started off early last year, coming off the dribble. Good flip with the left.
Against the taller defender. Here's the inbound. 1:10 to go. Late first, a 6-point cushion for Vacaville.
And it seems like Cordova's kind of picked up that extended pressure, kind of picking up the tempo as they pressure the ball.
Jay on the way, air ball. Okay, they kept it alive. Boy, they sure have tracked down a lot of extra opportunities. Another one from the same spot, in and out. Up for the board, Bolden. He'll take that. Gets it stripped away, gets it back and muscles it up, draws a foul.
There was a lot of contact on the first move I thought they would call. But that was good effort by him, going after the offensive rebound and trying to put it up very strong.
Dwayne Cameron didn't quite care for that call up along that Bulldog bench, but Bolden to the stripe, starting to come alive on offense, and drops number 1. After a slow start, he's come on for 5 quick points. Half a dozen. 16-12. kept alive. Nice block, but there's going to be a whistle and a foul. I didn't see it, even though I'm got a terrific view from here.
I heard a lot of ball on that rim net, that mic net.
Stallworth called for the foul that'll send French to the stripe to shoot 2. Rattles the first one home. So let's take another look at that sequence. Where's the foul? Well, arms got tangled.
And that's going to be an automatic call. But one thing, French got really good positioning, which he does it well on the offensive side and the defensive side. Find a way to seal on that weak side to get a rebound.
10 seconds left. Bolden with the rock. 8, 7. Fletcher from the side gives instructions. 4, 3. Deep J on the way. All glass. And we have played 1. Stay with us. We're going to come right back for more of this semifinal opening game for you tonight on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We're set for quarter number 2 here at the Runnin' with the Pack Invitational Tournament here at Cosumnes Oaks High School. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James, and a hot first quarter for Vacaville, 18 points, but none from Myron Amy, who dropped 36 last night. There's the balance we spoke of. They've answered the call.
Lancers have stepped up, and I think that is putting their best player against the best player, making them really compete.
Bolden looking hungry now. After 6 in the first quarter, drive and dish. Travel and a turnover. Head coach Fletcher Johnson looking on with that look of total disapproval on the call.
And the best part about Coach Flip, he keeps it so honest with his players, and he doesn't like players to argue or try to talk about it, just get back on the next play.
Well, the Bulldogs, that's a block. Kept alive, though. Boy, look at those extra opportunities. Again, that was Bergman creating that. Well, Vacaville's done a great job spreading out their offense after a one-man show last night. And the short J drilled easily. Good look, and Colaza drops it. 20-12. It's been uphill for the Lancers from the start. Here's a scrap for the ball, and the Lancers will hold on to it.
And right now, edge has to go to Vacaville. They're just wanting it a little bit more than the Lancers. They're diving on the floor for balls, trying to get the extra plays on the offensive rebound. So those intangibles are really important for the Lancers to get back in the game and clean things up.
Okay, Cordova to inbound, near side. Martinez to do the honors. Walking dribble up the floor. Bolden feeds inside. The layup is dropped, and it's a foul on the play. Nicely done. You know, Davis has been the sleeper in their offense, unassuming, but 4 buckets for 8, and trying to tack on a 3-point play here.
He's really clean, really smooth, and he has his hands always ready for Bolden's passes. So he knows not to really get caught up in the awe and the flash of what Bolden is doing, but just get ready for that pass that he knows he's going to drop to him.
Long on the free throw, no 3-point play, 20-14. Amy driving dish. Baseline feed, layup missed. Look at that, Bergman always around the ball. In between Davis in Stallworth. Possession to Vacaville. Bergman is directly responsible for 5 or 6.
Yes, it's about his positioning. He gets the right position at the right time on that weak side rebound where he knows there's no box out and goes and pursues the ball very aggressively.
Take a lesson from him. We played a minute and a half here in the second quarter. A near turnover, but Lancers don't have a guy where they needed it. Out of bounds to Vacaville.
And you see that extra effort coming from Cordova a little bit more spots, but it has to be all 5 of them together so they can secure plays like that.
Amy, runner for 2 at this bounce. That time, Hammond, 22-14. Vacaville stretching out again. Kicked ball on that play, so the Lancers will hold on to the rock. Back into the ball game, Sam Bridge for the Bulldogs. I was very impressed with Vacaville's rotation and their depth.
They're a nice-sized team with rotation, like you just said, with depth, and they move the ball really well.
Foul on Bridge, his first. Just the first foul of the ball game on Vacaville. Stallworth out, Colazzo out. Slap of the ball, baseline inbound. Deflected and stolen, turnover. And ensuing foul on the play. Bolden picks up the foul. He certainly can't afford to have him in trouble. His first, 5th team foul as Vacaville creeps closer to the bonus. Scoreboard operators give me a headache. Amy square up on Bolden. Jay on the way. Good pressure on that, forcing the miss. Pinckney to the corner. Jumper. Bolden air ball long. Transition the other way. Vacaville 3-on-3. Layup. Missed. He followed his own. Got it blocked. How about that? Out of bounds to Vacaville.
Something interesting that I'm seeing so far is like Amy and Bolden are getting different looks than they had last night. The good thing about tournaments is you stay and you scout and you watch the next team, and so you can tell both of them really paid attention to what the tendencies are of each player, and they're kind of playing defensively towards that.
So it's a 30-second timeout called by Vacaville. It comes at the 5:25 here, early second. 22-14, the Vacaville lead, and they've got that entire 22 with none coming from Myron Amy. Now that is difficult to believe after his 36 last night. Now he could warm up at any time, but still almost a quarter and a half played, and he's yet to get on the board.
Yeah, extremely balanced though. From players that we expected that last night. He just had a monstrous night, which sometimes players are hot like that. But it shows you how the coaching staff has really prepared for Vacaville for this moment, because now the other players are stepping up really well, seamlessly almost.
Inbound comes out long. Blenko, A.J. Blenko, number 11, has played very well here in the first half, getting a starting assignment. Bolden defending Amy. In the post, Bergman doubled. And 5-second tie-up, huh?
And I like the call from Coach Fletch, double teaming down. Pinckney's going to have to be very aware of where his shooter is when he digs in there, but the double tap on him is well-deserved by at this point now.
Walking dribble straight up the floor. Amy guarding Bolden. They are guarding each other. I kind of expected that. Cross court, Pinckney forces one up. Follow up cashed in sweetly, and there he is. Davis, another bucket. He's in for 10 on 5 hoops.
Yeah, Fletch has a gem in him for sure. He rebounded really well yesterday, and he's just showing his explosiveness to get to the basketball game today. Yeah.
Travel and a turnover on Glencoe looks a little tired
Yeah,
out there.
good call there, officials. I saw that one all the way from yesterday, so way to get that one quickly.
You say that like you may have done that once in your career, huh? Pinckney, and here comes Bolden. He leaves Pinckney open, and he drops a 3-ball. Junior guard, very impressive. It's his first hoop.
Better execution there for the Lancers. They're going to have to get back. Maybe Amy can get going here on this bucket.
Closest the Lancers have been since falling behind early, 22-19, Vaca by 3.
Crazy enough, I just was about to say Vacaville needs to go to their backdoor cuts. And you see here Pinckney working the shot. Too much attention on Bolden. He gets a wide open 3, finally getting to see the ball go in the rim. But Vacaville needs to go to more of their backdoor cut sets against this Cordova team, and I think they would probably get 5 to 10 more easy buckets and extend this lead.
Amy to the corner again. Vacaville settles for the 3-ball. It's an air ball and picked off there by Davis. So here come the Lancers with a chance to draw close or tie. Quick shot and a miss. Bolden with the shot. Here comes Amy now. Oh my goodness, say it again.
Easy call. Come to a jump stop. And he did not, Coach. I'm going to tell you right now, Coach. He jump stopped exactly what you did and took that extra step he cannot do. You got to come down on 2 and then just go ahead and shoot that little shot.
Thank you, Coach Goodman, one of the great girls coaches in this area for a period of time, now sitting beside me, microphone strapped. Wild shot, banked home off the left side. Jaden Brown.
He was thinking about that the last play, but he ended up passing it. Way to look to the rim, young fella. Get that bucket up.
Lancers within 1 now at 3:10 to go. Flip side of quarter number 2. Amy gives it back to Bridge. Whistling a foul. I think they're going to call Brown on this one.
Good way to get in the game. Good way to get in the flow of the offense right now. Go to the free throw line. Maybe see some buckets go in, and that may open it up a little bit more for him.
They call it on Jaden Brown. He sits down with his first foul. Amy misses number 1, yet to score.
Look, maybe he unloaded the full clip last night.
He unloaded at least, well, maybe so. Maybe the full clip. We'll see. Back on. Okay, he cleans up the backside, gets his point. 23-21, Vacaville by 2. Here's Bolden. Deep J. Short, nice rebounding position. Davis again, can't get it to drop, however. Snap it up the floor. Cameron bobbles it, spins, and now here's Amy. 2:40 to go. Second quarter, wide open, bingo. Austin Moore.
Too easy.
Well, that was a possible 5-point turnaround there. Lancers couldn't hit, and Vacaville has their 4th 3-ball. Pinckney just froze a couple defenders, skips it all the way over, in and out. Tough luck on the shot by Thomas. Amy can't wait to pull up and miss a wild J. Here comes Pinckney now. 2-minute mark, late second. 5-point lead, Vacaville.
Good attack. I like that. The one thing right now that the Lancers haven't picked up on is Vacaville really plays a sagging man, which packs it in, which we already talked about them struggling shooting from deep, which is why you see Bolden kind of taking more shots, Pinckney having to take more shots, because they have that extra amount of help for Vacaville. They're going to have to use these screens and really turn the corner again because they switch everything. So they're going to have to find those gaps and seams and really try to get in so that they can execute and score, but Vacaville is doing a really good job of sagging and trying to pack it in deep.
What a joy it is to hear expert analysis. 26-21, this is an important trip up the floor. 1.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Pinckney, back to Bolden. Fire away, down! Deep 3, Isaiah Bolden.
And he has some room on that one.
That was an important bucket right there. Again, it pulls the Lancers within 2. 26-24, a tightly played first half. Broken up by Pinckney, but Bulldogs reload. Bridge to Cameron, missing a 3. Davis wisely didn't chance it. This is an important possession here. Less than a minute to go. And an unnecessary brush foul by Cameron, his first.
But he does it so easy because he has that extra burst. When he sees you coming down or getting on your heels, he takes that extra step. The reach in is easy call if you don't move your feet.
So he sits down back on the floor for the Bulldogs. Colaza, far side inbound. Thomas shoves it into Pinckney. 50 seconds to go. They've switched defenders now. A little bit of a mismatch height-wise. Bolden working against Colaza.
This is where guys for Vaca is going to have to step up because they're going to have to throw different looks at him. And if you give it a couple fouls, you're going to have to get a couple fouls, but they're going to have to give a couple guys at him to slow him down.
Into the post. Short J, missed. Tough luck on the miss by Davis. Here's a run out, and that's going to be an easy 2. Cashed in by Colaza. The defense broke down in transition.
Colaza's using his minutes well, 4 minutes in this quarter, playing good defense against the best player. Can't ask for more as a coach.
3 times Cordova's been within 2. A miss this time, but a right bounce to Pinckney. And we are halfway home. 28-24. Vacaville had a 6-point lead after 1. It's been trimmed to some extent. We're going to come right back to Cosumnes Oaks High School and more of the Running with the Pack Invitational here on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Well, we're here at the Running with the Pack tournament right now. Vacaville is over the Cordova Lancers 28-24, but I'm here with the event coordinator of this good tournament that we're in, Martin Billings. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Lauren.
That's good. Now, can you talk to me a little bit about this tournament, how it's been going for you guys this far? You know, I know you guys started yesterday. Good turnout. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been exciting. All the teams have been playing hard. The fans have been engaged. And that's what we want this early in the season, just to have the boys playing hard, coaches coaching, just trying to get better, getting ready for league.
That's awesome. I know there were a lot of changes made. New, really, team. I got an opportunity to see you guys early in the preseason in another non-conference matchup prior to this tournament. Just talk to me about the team and how they've really grown and developed throughout the season. What do you think?
Yes, we're very proud of Coach Cricht and his staff. He came on late and definitely got buy-in from the players early. He's incorporated a program that's including the entire campus, entire community of Cosumnes Oaks. And he has quite a few returners from last year's team, and they're excited, and the lower levels are excited as well.
I know I got an opportunity yesterday when we came and kind of get to see everything and see how the tournament was ran. We talked to a lot of coaches, and you guys seem really communicating really well, really supporting each other. I know JV was at another site last night, but they came in really excited to support you guys.
Yeah.
Can you just talk to me a little bit about the morale and just how you guys are trying to build to grow? I know in a little bit after I get done talking to you, I'm going to talk about the ranking, which CO made our list. I think they're impressive and they're growing, but can you just talk to me about your lower levels and just how you guys are trying to build into a new program here?
Yeah, well, Coach Cripe has placed the emphasis on character. And people are buying into it. They're understanding that ownership is important, and he and the coaches and the parents and the players are holding one another accountable. And this accountability is creating early success for our program.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Billings, I'm going to let you get back to running the things and getting things ready for the next game. But thank you so much. You've been in education in Elk Grove for so long, and we appreciate, staff members and people of our community that come out and help like you. So thank you for sharing a little bit of time.
And we appreciate you, and thank you for being here again for another year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
We'll be back.
All right. I'll never do this again.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're at the midway mark of the first of two semifinal games here in the Running with the Pack Invitational Tournament here at Cosumnes Oaks. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James, and we saw a very spirited first half, Goody, as Cordova fell way behind and then got real close a couple times, and now they're down just 4.
Yeah, this is a game that I definitely wanted to see. We talked a lot last night about it. I think these two teams really are giving the best out of each other, as well as making you have to go out and see some of these teams. I know if you saw the records of these two teams, you wouldn't believe it's this good of a ball game, but they're really living up to the hype, and I think they're also developing and getting better.
Looking at the scorecard, we'll have some halftime stats for you momentarily, but individually speaking, Vacaville spread their offense to the extent that 8 players scored, while only 4 of the Lancers were in the scoring column. And of the 8 Bulldogs, Amy had the least of the point totals, just 1. So great distribution, but now clinging to a thin 4-point margin are the Bulldogs.
I honestly, he obviously has to step up right now. He only has, what do we have him in for, 1 point. So he's going to have to step up. But I am really impressed with how the Bulldogs have responded, even though he took such a load last night. Because I know the Lancers and Coach Fletch really game plan. They stayed and watched their game. They played really well. And then they had an Amy show. So if you were preparing and playing defense against him, of course, you know there's a lot of attention to him. And that attention has not bothered the other players. They've stepped up really well.
Can the Bulldogs spread out their offense in the second half as effectively as they did in the first if Amy decides to take it upon himself?
Yes, but I think, again, we agree with Bergman needs to play big. I think the kid is really, really talented, and he's doing all of this off non-offensive looks, which means he's not getting them in execution or rotation. He's just getting offensive rebounds, getting extra plays, so he's not really getting the ball fed to him when he's scoring, but he's so impactful, and I just think a few more looks, a few more options towards him would be really beneficial for the Bulldogs. Even if Amy gets going, he can always get rebounds and clean up.
Rebounding totals definitely have favored Vacaville. They've got 13 boards and 6 of them on offense, and frankly, I'm going to credit all 6 of those with Bergman being involved
That's
directly.
What I was thinking.
And as far as Cordova's concerned, they're in for 10 rebounds, 7 though defensive boards. Thank you, Dave Larson. So we'll see the battle of the boards, how it develops here in the second half, but more importantly, I want to see how the scoring breakdown goes. Bolden holding up his end of the deal with 9 points for the Lancers as their top gun, the sleeper, Alan Davis. He's got 10 points, the only Lancer in double figures, the only player in double figures in this game.
Davis has really impressed me. I really like the kid. Even though he picked up those 2 fouls, he still played really well at the end of the stretch. He was in the game. Fletcher has obviously been able to trust him enough to go out there and play, and he plays so gracefully. Some of those plays, he's not getting boxed out either. So he has that height advantage, that length advantage that he's using really well right now. We'll see if he can get a couple more buckets. Maybe even Pinkney getting a little bit more into the offense will help the balanced attack. But we know Bolden is seeing all green right now.
Well, we'll see what adjustments appear here after the halftime discussions by the respective coaches. And the Lancers will have first possession to open this second half. Inbound goes to junior point guard Rashawn Pinkney. And you're underway.
He's got to turn that corner.
Here's Bolden with the runner, misses long. Bergman a rebound. Same starting 5 on the floor for Vacaville. Here's Amy now, defended by Bolden.
That was an interesting call by Vacaville. They went into the floppy set to kind of get Amy off some screens, but really good defense by Bolden.
Cameron to Bergman, drive it strong and barrel into the defense, and call. Looks like another foul is going to be called here on Jaden Brown, number 31. 2 on the backup guard from Cordova, non-shooting. Cameron will inbound, baseline left, high lob, comes in, tracked down by Blenko. Amy left open for a moment. Back rim, a miss. Bergman misses in front of Bolton and gets it back. Powers it up and drops it. And that might be on Davis. I'll wait for the call.
I think he went Brown on that one.
Well, you can tell your friend that we need to see those signals. And a miss there. Everybody was asleep, and Vacaville boards it. Amy down. How about that? As he looks to the sky as if to say, thank you, Lord, I needed that one. Amy with the 3 after the Lancers fell asleep. And that followed Bergman's bucket. It's a 5-point play. Tie up. And suddenly the lead is 9.
give credit to Vacaville for their defensive game plan. They haven't they've committed one foul in the game. Really solid, not reaching in, being really, really disciplined on Cordova's drives.
I don't know why the Lancers were hypnotized on that free throw opportunity. Bridge to Amy, fire away, Nice rebounding by the little man, and Pinckney fouled unnecessarily in a double team. Blenko and Cameron had him sandwiched, non-shooting. Up the floor, Isaiah Bolden. Lancers down 9 after having pulled close a few times. Pinckney down. Well, he took it to the open daylight space. They needed that bucket. Back come the Bulldogs. Good D there. Nice kick out. Cameron, a clanker, all glass, but Bridge was there. Another offensive board for the Vacaville Bulldogs. Cameron's runner missed. He got it back. Wow.
One thing I liked about Cameron yesterday, too, he has no fear in shooting the basketball whatsoever, which sometimes you need as a shooter.
Fletcher Johnson highly upset about that, as he claimed Cameron came crashing in to get the offensive board and committed a foul of his own. And it's a three-point play. Boy, oh boy, 2 backbuster plays. A 10-point lead, largest of the game. Bolden fouled on the drive.
And I think that's biggest Coach Johnson's issue right now is his guys are getting the same kind of contact that they're calling on the other end, so let's just make it a little bit even. The one thing I will tell Coach Fletch is they are getting theirs on the offensive glass, which is where your team is in scramble, where they're trying to execute on set, solid defense, where Vacaville, again, has been really disciplined and haven't reached it.
Isaiah Bolden, 2nd of 2, dropped them both. He's in for 11, and it pulls the Lancers within 8. Obvious reach and foul there. Thomas committing the foul. Inbound near side, near midcourt. Sam Bridge to do the honors for the Bulldogs. Thomas out. Substitution Lancers. Davis back in. Bergman, tough inside. Nice rebounding by Bridge. Here's Amy. A 3-ball off the left wing, and Amy's got a couple of those recently. 7-point total.
Oh, he showed us he could shoot yesterday, but he's just taking what the defense gives him. I like that he's not trying to overdo it, trying to get himself going.
Drive and kick. Pinckney, same spot, but passes up the shot. Here's an interception by Amy. Drive on Bolden, layup down. Wow, whistle and a foul on Bolden. And
there's Coach Fletch.
Well, here it is. Where's the foul? I guess the slap was the foul, or the arm swing, I should say. But this game getting away from the Lancers, and they take a timeout. Fletcher Johnston wants to settle things down. Largest lead of 13 now at 41-28. And Amy will be at the stripe. Boy, oh boy, that happened fast.
Strong quarter by him, 9 points if he finishes this play.
A couple of incidental plays compounded the problem there, as you see some forlorn Lancers there. We're nearing midway third, 4:37 mark, but the Bulldog lead being stretched out here.
Yeah, and you got to think something that I see very interesting in this quarter. 3 of the plays, you see Coach Fletcher just completely on his team. Instilling discipline. That's one thing I've known Coach Fletcher.
3-ball derby
time.
here.
Yeah, it's been a 3-ball derby, but it's something very interesting too. There's been 3-and-1 plays in this quarter alone, which is 3 the old school way, but really, really important into how they got this lead.
Those shooters are all left wide open on drive draw. And here's another one. Amy didn't hesitate on that one either. So he's at the line trying to clean up a three-point play and cannot. Bolden on the point. Lancers down 13. Reaching foul on Amy. His first. They've been very good in that department.
Oh, and he's doing a really good job of trying to funnel Bolden to the right as he's a lefty and trying to take that away completely.
Brown. That is not their fort. Outside shooting. Amy pushes hard. Kind of feeling it now. Cameron back to Amy. Jumper missed, and Davis yanks the board. 4:05, midway third. Lancers have a lot of time left, but they're going to have to start dropping some shots when they have the open looks like that one.
Putting it right back up, trying to score off that offensive rebound would be best, but they haven't been really able to penetrate, and that's what they want to do.
And Bergman has been a force in there for Vacaville. How about that? A miss by Bolden after picking up the loose ball out of bounds to Cordova. Bergman will get a rest.
And a big part about Vacaville's success is they have Bergman in the middle, they've had French in the middle, and now they're throwing
Nathan Schnell.
Another one in the middle. Big size.
A little bit bigger even.
That allows him to sack. Turnover. Oh, he called tip.
Yes. Fortunate for that not to be it. Here's Pinckney driving it, and he draws a brush foul, I believe. It's going to be called on Blenko. So, little...
That was an interesting series.
Frantic action there, yeah.
See Coach Fletch, hand on the chin.
Yeah, he's hoping that another posture might turn things around as Pinckney hits a free throw. His 6th point, a 3-point bucket in the second quarter, and 3 points here in the third. They need all they can get right now, and he completes a 3-point, or both free throws, I should say, 41-30. Cameron has played a real strong game up until that point right there as Pinckney picks that off. Turnover unofficially number 7 on the Bulldogs. Block clean. Amy just got all that.
Easy block with no jump.
On the offensive end, dishes it to Schnell, can't knock it down. Another one of those opportunities through their fingers.
That was a tough one right there. They really, really needed that one to secure it at least. To kind of just, but you know what's really working in their favor? The clock. The clock, it seems like it is going extremely slow right now, which is advantage Lancers. But if you're Vacaville, you're probably like, can we get this show on the road to secure this victory so we can play in the championship?
Amy left wide open and makes the Lancers pay.
Putting on a clinic right now in the third.
Up 14, largest lead. Pinckney has made that move work 3 or 4 times and getting clobbered inside Stallworth.
I just want a little bit of balance in the calls. Call in your position. Good dish. It's his time. 3 threes in the third. He's looking to gun, which is what Vacaville needed. Good crease, but on that other side, officials, low side official, that's your call. Call that call. Because when they call in their area, then it makes it a little bit more solid of what happened. That top view was kind of awkward, but way to get the ball down low and get that foul in.
Stallworth hits a pair, and if there's one bright shining area for the Lancers, they've hit 8 out of 9 free throws tonight. Driving layup cashed in by Moore. They substituted new guards in there. Moore and Colaza giving Cameron and Adams a break. Pinckney. Miscommunication there. Davis is going to come back into the ball game immediately after that turnover.
Got to have your head up. Young fella, I know you've been working really, really hard. Martinez coming in, giving him a spark, but just have your head up. Pinckney's done that every time he's turned down the shot, try to get that drive, create. So just have your head and hands ready.
Break up and turnover Vacaville. That could have easily been called a foul on the bump there. Collaza knocking into Pinckney, but Lancers will settle for the possession here at the 2-minute mark, late third. Bolden, Rebound deflected and gobbled up there by Austin Moore. Bulldogs in control. Amy fires and hits. Another 3-ball for the gunner.
Good rhythm shot. I like that shot from him.
He's got 4 threes in the quarter, 14 for the quarter, 15 for the game. So a tale of two halves for the high-scoring guard. Bolton's drive is blocked. Push it hard. Here come the Bulldogs, and Amy wants more.
Now he's calling for the ball. He's feeling it.
Left wide open, but we got a whistle before the shot. Travel and a turnover on Vacaville.
That little hop. I've been trying to talk to a lot of players about that little extra hop after the catch. The hop or the step has to be within the catch, and then you got to let that thing go.
.49-32. Bolden attacks and draws a foul, evidently, on Evan Adams. Myron Amy, a stranger to the scoring column in the first half, makes up for it pretty fast, as we know. 14 here in the third quarter.
Yeah. Vaca has impressed me, for sure.
Bolden 2 for 2, and the hot shooting Lancers continue their streak from the foul line. 10 of 11. Amy to Moore. Plays catch in the backcourt. And Vacaville wants a timeout, and Coach Cameron gets it here with just 53 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll keep it right here, and he is basically broken out now with this big lead, 49-34. What do you suppose he's talking over right now with this little time?
He wants execution. He wants execution. You can tell the timeout was quick and rapidly. He was trying to call some things, as you see, called 30-second timeout because he was calling some things from the sideline, not getting what he wanted at the moment. He's on the board, trying to draw something up. On the other side, too, Fletch is trying to get his team to understand they're going to have to make stops. They need to be in the right spots and rotations. This is a good timeout for Vacaville because execution right now may be key into going into the momentum for the fourth.
Fletcher Johnson in his 10th year, guiding the Lancers, trying to instill something right there with heavy emphasis.
Both boards are out right now, which means it's good, a lot of coaching going on and a lot of execution being drawn up.
Cordova with 10 points in this quarter, but just one field goal. Amy to Adams. This is French, and there's that hop again. These Vacaville rebounders get excellent possession, and they're going to be rewarded. Stallworth out-hustled that time by French for the position. And at the stripe is the Bulldogs power forward, trying to stretch this big lead, and cannot on number one. .21 points in the third quarter here by Vacaville. 22. 50-34. Largest lead again. Bolden charges in and picks up a foul as he decks French.
It was coming.
It was coming.
I could feel it.
Mm-hmm. it should be noted that Fletcher Johnson's Lancers are playing shorthanded tonight. We wondered about Big Kenneth Brown, broken hand, out 6 to 8 weeks. And I can see here with just 2 on the bench, that's 2 less than last night.
Yeah. They've had a little up and down. I was talking to Coach Fletch, but he's very optimistic and he has a really good team. They can just finish out the preseason. They'll do well in league.
A shot and a miss and a rebound by Thomas. Lancers are going to have to push everything they can. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Pinckney sets himself up and misses the 3, takes a flop, follow-up, missed at the buzzer by Stallworth. And we have played 3, and the Bulldogs comfortably in charge, 50-34. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back. Nice to have you with us for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James. And we're at Cosumnes Oaks High School tonight for the first of 2 semifinal battles, trying to get into the championship round tomorrow evening. But right now, Vacaville holding the upper hand on host Cordova, leading it by 16 here as we enter the 4th quarter. And Cordova's going to really have to push now.
I need to see a big, probably first 3 minutes by Vacaville to extend the lead. Cordova stayed around with Placer last night. So they're going to have to compete all the way to the end for sure for Vacaville.
Bolden a miss, French a rebound. They've done a beautiful job on the boards, Vacaville. Cameron gives it to Evan Adams. In the key, a short J is sweetly drained. Evan Adams. They found the open man, didn't they? 52-34. Stretching again to the largest lead. Bolden a kick out. Bolden settles for the long one, misses. Rebound tapped out, but Bulldogs seem to have a player for every loose ball. And again, doing a nice job there, Nick French. Straightaway Jay, dropped again by Evan Adams.
If it's working, go back to it.
54-34, inside a driving layup. Timeout taken. Cordova for 30 seconds wants to talk a little bit, and so will we. That answering basket by Pinckney gives him 9 for the game, but Vacaville looks like it's nearing mid-season form already.
Yeah, I think Vacaville just has more weapons, more depth, as we talked about earlier. Coach Fletch talking to his team right now, has a couple injuries and you know, hit or miss, but he's been trucking it through 10 years. Coach Fletch has been through the ups and downs at Cordova, but I'm really, really impressed with this Vacaville team. They've come up here and really shown out. And I think it's going to be, if they can complete this, it's going to be a really, really good matchup tomorrow if you're free at 7. Come watch that championship game.
I agree with that assessment. Our nightcap will have University Prep of Reading, a good ball club under Coach Stevens. They really impressed us.
Really
and boy,
good.
can they shoot threes. They had a dozen of them last night in a narrow loss. And they'll be taking on host Cosumnes Oaks. So here's Amy up into the front court now. Comfortable lead for the Bulldogs. Let's see what they do with it. That's a travel from here to there.
Drug the back foot.
Blenko kind of got caught there.
And this is something I've been seeing more and more this year. A lot of coaches taking timeouts.
This time it was Cameron of Vacaville.
Yeah, right at the end of the possession or right after a score, which prior has always been known if it's a close game or something's tight niche. But you see a lot of more coaches trying to implement stuff at key moments after a bucket. Maybe it's the situation of timeouts. But I've been seeing that more. I think it's key when you're in the huddle, one offensive goal, if that's all they can take, and then maybe call another timeout to get in the defensive plan, or at least give them an opportunity in that timeout. What are we going to do if we're on offense? What if we're going to do on defense?
And the fact is, these December games, and especially in tournament play, coaches are still trying to figure out the rotation and refine their ball club.
Absolutely.
To go into league play in January. So, again, directly related to the timeout call in those types of situations. Six and a half to go here in the fourth. And Vacaville comfortably ahead here.
Like the
Inside
execution.
bucket, there it is.
Like the execution. Good call, Coach Fletcher, out of the timeout.
Stallworth has the bucket. And the Lancers inch a bit closer. Bergman gets his kind of position, but misses in close. Out of bounds to Vacaville. Boy, have they been fortuitous on all the 50-50 stuff. So
Bergman and Church are the only guys I've ever seen box out this well. Guys just need to box out, which Cordova hasn't been able to do.
Great timing and steal by Pinckney. Go ahead and fire away. A miss. Out of bounds to Vacaville. Amazing.
Pinckney's been finding a way to get his hands in there. I don't know if he's a double sport athlete, but he looks like it tremendously on defense with his speed and his ability to switch and kind of change gears and also get in there and get some tips.
Here's Amy. Pull-up jump shot is buried.
Too easy.
It was pretty easy, I must say. 56-38. Bolton trying to duplicate and does with a three ball.
Good response.
Amy behind the back flip. 56-41. Deep J dropped by Cameron. He left open and he killed it.
We're seeing some offensive swag here. Everybody going to get their points.
Pinckney slips on the drive. It's a turnover. Bergman pushes ahead to Amy. Got it. Tough luck for Pinckney and the Lancers on that one. Amy said thank you very much.
He's gotten 2 easy buckets.
Up 20 are the Bulldogs. Bolden, another sweet all money straightaway three ball.
That lefty touch is so soft, so sweet.
Amy baseline drive, cannot get the flip, and Stallworth grabs it. Lean in Jay, it's going to be a foul call on Blenko, who is in utter disbelief. Coach Cameron pretty comfortable right now with that 61-44 lead, but Bolden back to the line.
They're pretty cool, calm, and collected duo. Watching them the past 2 days, really don't get too up, don't really get too down, keep it really steady, and that's why kind of you see the team that they have right now. Pretty steady and balanced as the two coaches kind of work together hand in hand.
Davis back in for the Lancers along with Jaden Brown.
I wanted to see a little bit more with the high-low action with those two together, see what that can create, because they've created some easy buckets to the single post. Maybe see if those two can create something together.
Amy, good ball movement by the Bulldogs. Kick out and another open three ball, back rim. Amy boards and foul line jump shot missed. Boy, they're offensive rebounding like demons. Down. A three ball buried by Evan Adams, who's got 7 in the quarter.
It's a big time quarter.
in the paint and a drive and a bucket and a foul to go with it. Bolden is having himself quite a second half and quite a ball game altogether.
He is a crafty guard, maybe one of the best that I've seen thus far, and I've seen some pretty good basketball in and out of the city. But his just ability to create and score is really well.
Cordova takes a full timeout, but we're going to gab through it here and isolate on these two premier scorers. After just 1 point in the first half for Amy, he's come on strong. He had 14 in the third quarter and added 4 more, so he's got 18 in the second half, and that includes 4 threes. And Bolden had 9 in the first half and has come on in the second half for a pair of threes, 6 free throws, and another 2-point bucket. 14 in the second half, 23 for the game. I guess he's earning his keep, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's pretty. And the reason why I'm highlighting him and highlighting Amy is because these are two players you probably would not normally see because they're either their schools or location or just stats and what's overall record. So it's really important for those two men to get highlights, young men to get highlights, as they're seniors and they're going to play at the next level for sure.
3-point play for Bolden. He's in for 20. Amy, a kick out, and thank you very much. And Evan Adams has had quite a quarter. 2 threes and 2 twos for 10. Bolden, a miss that time, and Evan Adams boards it. Picked off by Bolden as he knifes in front of Amy. 2 and 2. A save off Bolden, or correction, Bolden saved it. Tough luck for the Lancers trying to make something happen there off of defense. But time running out on the Lancers. Just over 3 minutes left. There's a turnover. Here they come. Isaiah, nice. He tucked it and went with the right hand. Adams, a very unselfish player, lines up another one. Pow!
3 for 3.
Evan Adams is killing it here in the fourth quarter. 3 threes and a pair of twos. 70-51. Stallworth barges inside and misses a baby hook. 2.5 to go. Amy sends it back to him. They play catch. Nice ball movement. Who wants it? Still time on the clock, and inside a chippy missed by Bridge.
That was a good find by Amy. Good patience, too, by the Vacaville Bulldogs. Just got to finish.
So here's Bolden, defended by Amy. He slips away with a quick dribble behind his back, misses the J, and a putback knocked in by Stallworth. Draws a foul on the play.
I want to see Stallworth and Davis a little bit more, but you see Vacaville clearing the bench. They know they have solidified this win.
5 subs come in for the Bulldogs, 5 for 5 with 1:58. Stallworth will be at the stripe to try to clean up a 3-point play for the Lancers, and cannot. He gets the tap out, takes it inside, and banks it home.
Good call, Coach.
30-second timeout taken by the Lancers here as they pull within 70-55. This game started getting away from Cordova here early in the third quarter when 2 or 3 situational plays really stretched out a very thin Vacaville lead.
Yeah. The one thing about Coach Fletch, he's going to always, he's talking to Stallworth right now, he's going to always try to get you to continue to play the entire game. They're never going to give up. He's never going to stop coaching his kids. As you see right here, Bolden shooting a 3, deep, nice little touch, and he's coming in. This is the Bolden package right here. Observes the floor really well.
Back to live. 5 subs on the floor for Vacaville. A couple of them, though, have seen plenty of playing time. Minute and a half left. Lancers playing 2-3 zone here. Down the stretch, air ball runner. Brown grabs it. Here they come. Pinckney, 70-55, well-earned performance tonight. Left-handed putback. Schnell drops it home. Bolden, But Pinckney will give him another chance here. Less than a minute to go. Drives inside, got clobbered, no call. Who wants it? Right down the baseline, reverse layup, but Nathan Schnell says, thank you very much. I can knock that in undefended.
Come get your money, Schnell.
74-55, Pinckney, a miss on the reverse layup. 20 seconds, and Dwayne Cammons, Vacaville Bulldogs, again, another outstanding team performance, but this one even better with the balance they showed this evening.
It was really, really impressive, this game.
Timeout with 8 seconds. There's another one of your timeouts, Lauren.
They're shaking hands.
Yes, they are. I guess the, well, you know, I already gave you my comment on the... Hey, there's the final buzzer. This one is in the can, and it turns out to be a 74-55, a demonstrative 74-55 victory by Dwayne Cammons' Vacaville Bulldogs, as they will advance to the championship game tomorrow evening against the winner of our next contest, which we'll have for you shortly coming up here on Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week, as the University Prep Panthers of Reading will square off with the host Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack in our second semifinal game. We'll come right back after this quick timeout and wrap things up before we move on to the next semifinal. Stay with us.
What?
Well, the decision is final. Tonight's verdict in our opener of 2 semifinals. An impressive victory. Vacaville stopping Cordova by a final score of 74-55. Lots of excellent team play in tonight's game, but we did settle on 2 players of the game, one from each of these squads, and I think we have 2 standouts here, Lauren.
Easily. Just starting with Amy, I'm really, really impressed. His response to the 1 point half. He really stepped up big in the third and just put the icing on the cake in the fourth. But Isaiah Bolden as well, he's another extremely, extremely talented 2020 guard who's going to be leading the way for Cordova, and we'll actually get to see him play in a couple weeks.
We will indeed. Quick look at the individual scoring leaders for Vacaville. 19 for Amy, 15 for Adams, 13 for Cameron, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other Bulldogs in the scoring column. And for Cordova, 26 for Bolden, 10 for Davis, 9 for Pinckney, 8 for Stallworth. And the redeeming element tonight for Cordova. They were tremendous from the foul line, missing only 2 free throws all night, but hitting 11 out of 13.
Maybe the best free throw shooting I've seen all year.
Probably so, but tonight's final decisive in victory are the Vacaville Bulldogs, stopping Cordova by a final score of 74-55. Stay with us. We're going to come back shortly and bring you the other semifinal battle tonight coming up. Host Cosumnes Oaks taking on University Prep of Reading. We'll be right back.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.